Meghan, who is, in my opinion, a narcissist, is driving him insane.
He's in an abusive relationship.
He's in an abusive relationship, absolutely, Nancy. And it's so scary to think that this guy now is crumbling.
I don't think they live in the same
House.
area anymore. I personally don't.
Wow.
I think they're separated.
Okay, the Sidley twins with me, and Stephanie believes, and I actually agree. Stephanie. Harry is on the verge of some type of serious meltdown here. We saw it with a quite deranged statement released to try and say, I wasn't trying to steal William's thunder, even though we know exactly what that was all about. But at the same time, this truly bizarre article trying to win over Brits like me and make us just forget, right, that you literally called us all racists in your Netflix documentary for backing Brexit, and that you accused the royal family of also being racist. It's just nuts. It's just nuts. So anyway, the Prince and Princess of Wales fan posted, I kid you not, this is a real essay. It's appalling, full of all of the cliches that you would expect from someone who is disconnected from reality. Sorry, Harry, you stabbed your country in the back. And Stephanie, you replied, F.O. Harry, but you added, Harry wants to go back to the UK so bad, it's scary. He's on the verge of a mental breakdown. And unfortunately, because I don't like to say that, but I think you're completely right, because what's actually happening here is these two are pulling in completely different directions. I mean, Harry's language about the United Kingdom has totally changed. Do you remember he wouldn't used to praise the United Kingdom at all? It was like, no, LA is my home. You know, I'm never, ever going back. He was pretty negative about it, or he couldn't even say anything positive. So, Stephanie, what's your reading on this? Just go into your post on X a little bit more.
I think he's having a psychotic break, in my opinion. I think that the weight of the world is on his shoulders and he doesn't know what to do. His entire life has been a boy with a silver spoon in his mouth. And for some reason, he left all that for Meghan. And Meghan, who is, in my opinion, a narcissist, is driving him insane.
He's in an abusive relationship.
He's in an abusive relationship, absolutely, Nancy. And it's so scary to think that this guy now is crumbling. I mean, what? And Dan, to your point, you're so right. Those two could have done so much good.
Yeah.
They could have done so much good in this world. And they blew it.
The things he said about the UK, like, he's like, well, most Britons are very literate people, but when it comes to consuming the news, they believe everything they read. He blankets all of the UK. He makes them look stupid.
Yeah, but have you noticed he's doing it to you guys now as well? Yeah, we saw it in the podcast interview last week.
Yes. And it also is the same script that Meghan had when she said, British people don't hug each other.
Yeah.
They're not affectionate.
The last time
I mean, they both hate the UK.
I know, but no, I think he wants to go back.
Of course.
But yeah, as far as him having a mental break, how is he not having a mental break? I put myself in his situation and what he's gone through in the last 5 years. Listen, no offense, Harry, but I feel like I have a stronger character than Harry at this point, and I would break at this point. So I'm just imagining what he's going through. There is absolutely no way that this guy is playing with a full deck of cards right now, thinking this is appropriate behavior. First of all, he did not write that essay.
Nope.
He did not.
He doesn't know 600 words.
There is absolutely no way.
He doesn't know it.
He wrote that essay.
Shall we have a look at some of it? This was the reporting from The Royalist, where Tom Sykes writes, Prince Harry has inadvertently sparked speculation about plans long denied by his team that he one day plans to return to the UK by saying he currently lives in the US. He recently told a podcaster he had no plans to become a US citizen. He made the new remark, not in an off-the-cuff interview, but in an article distributed on Global Newswires about Remembrance Day and Veterans Day celebrations, which take place all this week. Harry has provoked suspicions. He is trying to take attention off his brother Prince William by travelling to Canada to support such causes today, the same day William presents his Earthshot Prize. In an article entitled The Bold, the Banter, the Bravery, What It Means to be British, Harry paid special tribute to the wounded Ukrainian servicemen and women he spent time with earlier this year in Kiev. He said, these people reminded me that bravery is not the absence of fear, but the triumph of purpose over it. Then he said, there is a similar stoic spirit of self-deprecation and humour in Ukrainians that I recognise more than any other in us Brits. Though currently I may live in the United States, Britain is and always will be the country I proudly served and fought for. The banter of the mess, the clubhouse, the pub. It sounds ridiculous. These are the things that make us British. I make no apology for it. I love it. But as Tom Sykes says, the comment is likely to provoke raised eyebrows at the palace and more vocal criticism online, where Harry is often accused of betraying Britain by attacking its monarchy and overstating his active military service. Well, I'd say that's just the start of it, Tom Sykes. But this ain't going to work for me. I mean, it's certainly not going to work. I'm not at all suckered by this. But it is absolutely a change, a serious change in his tone and in his positioning in regards to the UK.
It's very reminiscent of that statement they put out when they said service is universal. When they were like, look, they were basically talking to the Queen, like, you're not going to tell us that we can't be working
that was
royals
revolting.
to the globe. I feel like it's very reminiscent of that. But how
He wants out.
dare he talk like that and say, talk about being British? The last time somebody asked him a question, what do you miss about the UK? He said the sky. I
What
mean,
was that?
this guy is insane. I mean, he's obviously trying to get sympathy.
Yes.
I don't know who he's talking to anymore because he has lost everybody. Even Meghan Kelly said, she goes, I have people come up to me in a restaurant constantly and say things like, I disagree with you on so many things, but the one thing I agree with you on is Meghan and Harry. I mean, this is, talk about universal. I mean, nobody is going to fall for this. But the palace, I feel, really needs to just strip these titles and get it over with, because the fact that he did this the same week as Earthshot just shows that he's capable of doing a lot more. Like he's ready.
Yeah.
He is ready, because sometimes when people are that desperate, they will do anything. And I just feel like he's going to like throw everything at it right now. I don't think, can I give my personal opinion on him and
Please.
Meghan? I don't think they live in the same
House.
area anymore. I personally don't.
Wow.
I think they're separated. I do.
Well, it was interesting
do.
because we saw that video, that stunted up video. And actually, given you've mentioned Meghan Kelly,
Yeah.
I want to play you both what she had to say about the video. But in case people did miss it, we did a video on it earlier in the week. But, you know, it was the video during the World Series where Meghan sort of surprised a clearly miserable and horrified Prince Harry. But I thought Meghan Kelly's take on what that meant about Meghan Markle's personality and their relationship was absolutely fascinating. Watch.
Look like a hostage there. I mean, you really kind of wanted to have King Charles send in the equivalent of the Navy SEALs into Montecito to go rescue the prince.
Well, Meghan, he didn't know that was going to be released worldwide. He thought he was in his.
That's true.
He thought he was in his own home, just with his kooky wife and her friend, and he didn't have any reason to behave. He must be so pissed right now. Wait, you released that? I had a chance to get up and hug you and go, wow, yeah. But I didn't know we're going to use our home security footage as TikTok. Tell me next time.
She never misses an opportunity to make it about herself.
So true. So true.
I mean, she also released it the night of Game 7. It was obviously filmed Friday on Halloween, Game 6, because you don't, it's just like, it's psychotic behavior. I mean, this girl is nuts. That was Game 6. There's no way that was Game 7, in my opinion, because the reaction, Kelly was there, Kelly Zeiflin was there. And that's what scares me. What were they doing the night of Game 7? If she wanted to release a video showing she was excited that the Dodgers won the World Series, why couldn't she just release a video of them actually showing? It's because they weren't watching Game 7. She could care less about the Dodgers.
Oh, she doesn't give a damn. She doesn't give a damn. What she cares about, and actually Megyn Kelly pointed this out too, what she cares about is thinking that she's doing something which is good for her own PR, even though it never is. Watch.
She parachuted into Uvalde, where a bunch of children were murdered, and made sure she got caught by those cameras. Then, just a couple weeks ago, caught going past the spot where Princess Diana was so brutally killed in that terrible car crash, with her bare feet swinging in the car without a care in the world and the music playing. Link Lauren calls her a disaster tourist, and she is. And now she peppers it here with, see, there I am. It's all about me and my joy, because I swear I'm authentic. I'm a Californian. I love the Dodgers just like normal people, even though I'm firing, or at least losing, my 10th publicist right now, literally days earlier in the news, because I bully everyone.
Her husband must, if he is not angry as hell right now, and that he even allowed that to come out, is actually troubling, because it didn't make him look particularly good, except that he wasn't part of the hysteria. But to allow your home security footage with you in it to be released publicly by your wife so that she can get a few points as a Dodgers fan, dude, I hate to use the word cucked. I never use the word cucked, but that's cucked.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think we've known that about Harry for quite some time.
Yes, we have. We have, haven't we, Nancy?
My mom's watching this right now going, what's cup?
Oh, so's mine. So is mine.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Just Google it, Mum. Don't
sorry,
ask
Mom.
me.
Sorry,
Just
Mom.
Google it, okay? Okay, then we come to this.
I mean, it's pathetic.
This
is.
was clearly a distraction from Paris. I have been adamant about that.
Totally.
She went to
So have I.
Balenciaga, exploited.
I so agree. She has flooded the zone because it went so badly.
Yes.
She went there.
She
was
went
a
to
disaster.
exploit children, and then she puts her feet up.
How could you care so much about your privacy? Remember during the documentary for Netflix when she was pretending to cry and she goes, I checked the alarm. Is the alarm on? Is someone's breaking into my house? She's talking about her feelings when she lived on the Windsor estate at Frogmore. You're right. You're right, Megyn. Someone's just going to come and get you there. But she's now releasing home security footage and showing where the cameras actually are. I mean, if this was a Mission Impossible movie, she would have done all the work for Ethan Hunt, because he didn't have to look at the blueprints. I mean, that's exactly how their security's set up.
And let's not.
So if you're breaking in, you know that those are your black spots, and that's where to break into. I mean, it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life.
And let's not remember that she was wearing Toronto Jays hats.
Because she doesn't care about baseball.
She doesn't care about the
No,
Dodgers.
they know that.
She's full of crap.
Yeah, it's so funny.
She was literally wearing that while she was filming Suits.
Yeah, and I want to say this because a lot of people will clip this later and put it on their freaking TikTok pages and say, "Look at Dan and those twins. All they do is obsess over that girl. She can't even live her life. She can't even go to." You know why we do this? You know why we're doing this? Because she started it. And we're going to finish it. Okay. No one told her to go on Oprah and lie during a pandemic and the height of the George Floyd riots. She knew what she was doing. No one told her to go on that cut interview and say the things that she said. No one told her that. Had she not done that, yeah, I get
No,
it.
exactly.
Maybe
Exactly.
we're a
I'm
little petty.
sorry. For people who say that, I just say to them, Meghan Markle remains the biggest threat, living threat, to the British monarchy today. And I know there'll be a whole load of people saying right now, Dan, what about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor? He's done. He's finished, okay? And he was finished because the mainstream media pointed out his appalling behavior. And no one accused them of racism, of course, because he was a white man. But there's one massive difference between Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and Meghan Markle. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor believes in the British monarchy. He has never tried to bring it down. He has never tried to destroy it. Now, his actions have inadvertently caused huge damage. And by the way, this is not a defense of a lot of Andrew's behavior. That's not the point that I'm making. The point that I'm making is that there is a woman in this world who used to have a huge amount of power before people like us started pointing out her lies and the fact that we couldn't trust what she was saying about the British monarchy. So I'm glad you have said that, because I do think sometimes there does need to be a little bit of context about why this matters. This woman, in her life, right, she has two goals. Either destroy the British monarchy or become the Queen. Okay, that's it. That is the ultimate goal. Now, of course, it's not going to happen. But it's not going to happen because we have been on her and we have exposed exactly what she's tried to do. And by the way, I did think it was really interesting this week that Prince Harry released this statement about his Canada trip. And I mean, the whole thing was just nonsense because, of course, it was all planned to take the attention away from Prince William and Earthshot. But I think maybe is what's most interesting about it is even though the Mail went massive on it, most people now just shrug off these sort of gaslighting, hysterical, over-the-top statements from Harry. And that is a good place to be. And again, I think a lot of that is because we have kept the attention on this guy and what he does. Because do you remember a few years ago when he released that hysterical and gaslighty statement saying, oh, the British media are being racist about Meghan Markle, when the British media were absolutely not being racist about Meghan Markle? It blew up. It was everywhere. Not so much anymore. So this was the Mail's coverage of it. The headline, Prince Harry issues defiant statement as he denies claims he was trying to upstage William. Then if we actually get to the statement itself, Harry's team blamed the timing on the fact he is not afforded the same level of security and protection as other working members of the royal family. Well, I mean, that's insane. As other members of the working royal family, you're not. You're not. You're a private citizen. The spokesperson went on. It means, therefore, that the period of time in which we can release details of events is much more truncated than it is for His Majesty the King or the Prince of Wales. Again, why the hell are you comparing yourself to them? You didn't want that. It's nuts, isn't it? So anyway, the royal commentator Victoria Arbiter, she was good on this. She said the timing of Harry's announcement was inevitable, if not predictable. But the spokesman for the Duke of Sussex hit back, declaring the events were planned nearly a year ago. Doesn't make it any better. He knew that Earthshot was on, so that's irrelevant. The date of the main event, the dinner, is set by the charity, not Prince Harry. The period of Remembrance Tide traditionally extends from the 1st to 11th of November and has done since 1918, over 100 years. He can't choose to move those dates. We are always guided as to when we can announce trips like this by the advice given to us by his private security advisors and the event security team. This visit, months in the planning, marks a return to a city that has a special place in the Duke's heart, having played host to the Invictus Games back in 2017. Now, Sidleys, we can, of course, pick that statement apart, right? Because it's total nonsense. Like, other members of the royal like working members, you're not one. But to me, I think the thing that gave me the most hope in terms of this statement is it was broadly ignored. And again, that's going to be very painful for this guy coming, Stephanie, to your original point, about this breakdown. The fact that he releases a statement like that, he expects the world to stop, because the world used to stop. And now it's like, nah, you're speaking nonsense. We're not buying into this.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing a person on the brink.
Yeah, but
I mean, he really is he really is trying everything.
But we're also seeing someone with zero credibility anymore. No, but again, no one is buying it, and especially the security. I love the security statement. Your wife just put out security footage of the layout of your media room. Okay, what is wrong with you, dude? Like, seriously. Look at that. We just got the layout of the media room if we needed it. We know where the camera is. So if we go in there, we know where. I mean, it's to me that is just but do you think that he tells Meghan not to do this and then she just doesn't listen? Like,
no,
I'm
I
just
think
imagining.
I mean, I'm not defending him here, but I think he's genuinely too scared to. Because in the podcast last week with that leftist guy, he used that to send a message to his wife about not wanting to put the children in social media videos. I mean, that's nuts. That's nuts, because did you notice in that podcast, he wasn't saying, oh, but it's completely fine if you cover up their faces with a little star, or you blur them, or you do them from a weird angle or something like that. It was completely unequivocal. It was actually backing up what I've reported since February. Do you remember Meghan was sent home from the Invictus Games and she was furious about it? And that was the first time she used her children in an Instagram video, right? Yeah. And with Harry, he was, there was no equivocation. It was like, you are making a huge mistake if you are a parent and you put your children on social media. Full stop. End of story. And he sends that message to Meghan via a podcast. He knows the point that he was making, but he can't say these things to her face. He's too scared, and he is too cupped and controlled.
Oh, of course. But we also have to remember that she wants him to be psychotic. She wants him to drink. Absolutely. Yeah. She wants him to do drugs. Because allegedly in
a lot of drugs are illegal in California. That's the point.
Well, no, I'm just saying that in a divorce settlement, she wants all these things to be public. Because it's going to give her leverage.
Of course she does. Oh, yeah. You include all of that detail about your illegal drug use and spare Harry. Very, very sensible for you to do that.
But also his actions now.
Yeah.
What he's doing.
I like how you put that pumpkin patch. She gave the location of the pumpkin patch too. I mean,
security.
It's like, it's insane. That's insane.
Okay, but Nancy,
so now they know every
I
year
have to ask you about your post in regards to this bookstore tie-up. So Meghan's now trying to prove to us. Well, look. Let me read you your tweet. So Meghan Markle can't seem to sell any of her products, so she hosted a holiday bazaar at that witch-themed bookstore for all her wealthy friends, allegedly. And then she posted this video. Now, is this sort of meant to be a humble brag? Is that what we're meant to take away from this? Like, oh, she's doing this all herself. Is that what we're meant to be impressed by here?
The release that she put out on her website said that this is her first brick and mortar collaboration. She's very proud of it at Godmothers. And it says, if you happen to be in the air, it's like she got a deal with Target.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's her local woke bookstore.
I call it a witches themed bookstore because I mean, those women, I mean, come on, let's get real. But it says, if you're in the area, come by. Okay, I'm just going to be driving around Summerlin, in a gated community, and I'm going to go into. Come on, give me a break.
She's acting like people were in line.
Yeah,
but people can't get into this.
This is a holiday bazaar. That's all it is. This is something that I worked at a private school with like so many of those kind of women, and I love all of you if you're watching the show. But and you guys know I love you. But they would do this at our school. They would like have side hustles where they would sell their jewelry or purses. Oh God, so many of them made purses. I had to buy like 10 of them. But they would sell stuff during the holidays. And we had like this section in the private school where they could set up their holiday bazaar. And oh my gosh, it reminds me. So, again, she's like 10, 15 years too late to the party.
She's broke.
Her crap isn't selling. All the stuff that she put behind that holiday display, it looks like the wrapped stuff. And then Oprah comes out. I didn't even know Oprah still did her favorite things. Who's going to trust Oprah? Who is going to trust Oprah after she fed us that Kamala BS? Joy. No one gives a crap about Oprah anymore. No one cares.
No way. Ladies, big congratulations are in order. You're going to be too big for me soon. 100,000 subscribers on YouTube for Twin Talks. And everyone else has to subscribe. Man. So it's at Sidley Twins 4823, right? But you can just You can just type into the search
Just
bar
type
Sydney
in
Twins
Twin
or
Talk.
Twin Talk.
Yeah.
But that's amazing. 100,000. 100,000. Congratulations.
Couldn't have done it without you.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're the
you
reason,
could.
Dan.
You
Yeah.
absolutely could have. But no, I love having you. So don't get too big for me, okay? Because this has been such a blast.
Never, ever.
But I adore you both. Thank you so much. Sign up, subscribe to the Soar Away Twin Talk with the Sidley Twins. 100,000 subscribers. Isn't that incredible? Congratulations. Congratulations to the twins.
The British government is preparing to launch a controversial new scheme that could see members of the public financially rewarded for reporting suspected tax evaders, including friends, colleagues, and even neighbours. Under the proposed plan, which is expected to be unveiled in the upcoming national budget at the end of November, informants could receive up to 30% of reclaimed tax revenue if their tip leads to a successful recovery. The model closely mirrors a long-standing approach in the United States, where whistleblowers are granted a share of recovered funds as an incentive to expose tax fraud. Currently, the UK's tax authority, HM Revenue and Customs, only issues discretionary payments based on factors such as how much money is recovered and how much investigative time is saved. The new policy would replace that system with significantly higher and more clearly structured rewards. The proposal arrives amidst growing concerns that tax avoidance and evasion are costing the government an estimated £47 billion every year. At the same time, demand for public participation in tax reporting appears to be soaring. In the most recent fiscal year, more than 164,000 complaints were submitted to HMRC's fraud hotline, the highest number on record and an increase compared to the previous year. However, despite the surge in tip-offs, the total amount of reward money paid out to whistleblowers has gone down. In the past year, HMRC distributed just £852,438 in informant payments, a drop compared to the year before. The agency has also confirmed that it is now using artificial intelligence tools to monitor social media activity for signs of undeclared income, undeclared assets, and lifestyle indicators that may suggest tax evasion. Members of the public are able to file reports anonymously through the government website or by calling the HMRC fraud hotline. Reported cases can include false tax returns, fraudulent benefit claims, offshore income concealment, tax avoidance schemes, or smuggling of taxable goods. Providing personal details is optional, and any information given is handled with confidentiality. The Treasury has declined to publicly comment on the proposed reward scheme. Tax fraud, defined as the deliberate attempt to deceive authorities in order to avoid paying required taxes, is considered a serious criminal offence in the United Kingdom. Those found guilty may face heavy fines, repayment orders, and in some cases imprisonment. As the government moves closer to finalising the policy, debate continues over whether rewarding public surveillance will strengthen tax enforcement or fracture public trust between citizens.